Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So today we are tackling a completely universal everyday mystery that literally anyone who has ever tracked their fitness has experienced. You know the drill, right? You step on the bathroom scale right before you go to bed. Then you wake up 8 hours later, step on that exact same scale, and suddenly, boom, you're magically 1, 2, or maybe even 3 pounds lighter. And it's wild because you haven't done an intense workout. You've literally just been lying completely still with your eyes closed. So how on earth did you lose that weight? It really is this fascinating physiological magic trick. Where exactly do those missing pounds go while you sleep? Okay, let's dive into this, because understanding this overnight drop is the absolute key to completely changing how you track your fitness and, honestly, how you look at that scale forever. I want to start off by just ripping the band-aid off and revealing a fundamental truth. Most overnight weight loss is water loss, not body fat. We really need to dismantle this super common, tempting myth right off the bat. It's so easy to wake up, see the number drop by 2 pounds, and think, wow, no way, I burned a massive amount of fat in my sleep. But biologically speaking, that is simply not what's happening. So, Section 1, where does water go? The biological night shift. Let's take a look. Here are the three main escape routes for all that water. 1, exhaled vapor from your lungs. 2, continuous sweating through your skin. And 3, of course, your morning bathroom visits. The best way to think about this, especially if you're kind of new to fitness tracking, is to picture your body like a car idling in the driveway. Even when the car isn't driving anywhere, the engine is still running, it's generating heat, and it's producing exhaust. Every single time you breathe out while you sleep, every single breath carries microscopic moisture away from your body and right into the room. And then there's the invisible perspiration. Your body heat regulation continuously pushes water out through your skin. And environmental factors will massively increase this continuous water loss. If your bedroom is warm, if you're bundled up under a heavy, thick duvet, if you live in a hot climate, or, maybe you have a slight fever, your internal engine has to work even harder to cool down, pushing out even more water weight through your skin over those 8 hours. Finally, we have to account for the most obvious one. Your kidneys are hard at work filtering your blood all night long. By morning, you've got a fuller bladder and, let's just be real here, often a morning bowel movement shortly after waking up. That standard morning bathroom visit accounts for a very tangible, immediate chunk of weight that is completely gone before you even put on your socks. All right, moving on to Section 2, the glycogen sponge effect. First up, let's just clearly define our terms. Glycogen. Glycogen is simply stored energy that your liver releases overnight to keep your blood sugar completely steady. Remember, sleep is essentially an 8-hour fast. You aren't eating anything, but your brain and your vital organs still desperately need steady fuel to survive. So your liver acts like this amazing internal pantry, slowly releasing the stored energy, called glycogen, into your bloodstream all night long. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this truly fascinating ratio. Think of glycogen like a wet kitchen sponge. For every 1 gram of glycogen your body stores, it also stores roughly 3 to 4 grams of water right alongside it. When your resting body needs energy overnight, it reaches for that sponge and squeezes it to get the glycogen out. But when it squeezes the sponge, all that heavy water gets released into your system and eventually leaves your body. And this beautifully explains a major fitness phenomenon. If you've ever tried a low-carb diet or keto, you know that in those first few days, you can see a massive, rapid drop in weight on the scale. People get incredibly excited. But when you stop eating carbs, your body quickly burns through its glycogen reserves. It's essentially squeezing that sponge completely dry. That quick initial weight drop isn't fat. Actually, scratch that. A microscopic fraction of it might be fat, but it is almost entirely the massive amount of water that was unleashed when your glycogen sponge was depleted. Which brings us to Section 3, case study, the 210-pound man. Let's look at a real-world example. And this brilliantly illustrates the reality of the situation. If our 210-pound guy wakes up 1 to 3 pounds later, almost that entire chunk of weight is just water loss, glycogen shifts, urine, and exhaled respiration. The actual fat burned overnight is a tiny, microscopic sliver, maybe only 0.1 or 0.2 pounds. The contrast here is staggering, and it's incredibly important to internalize if you're tracking your weight. Let's break that down further in Section 4, fat burn versus water loss. Listen, while you are dreaming, you are for sure still burning calories. Your heart is beating, your lungs are breathing, your brain is highly active repairing neural pathways, your cells are repairing muscle tissue, and your body temperature is being constantly regulated. To keep this incredibly complex human machine running, a typical adult burns roughly 300 to 700 total calories over the course of a single night, obviously depending on their body size and resting metabolism. But then we hit this absolutely critical number, 3,500. In the world of fitness and human biology, 1 single pound of body fat equates to approximately 3,500 calories of stored energy. So, the crucial point is right here in the basic math. If your body is only burning 300 to 700 calories to keep your heart beating and lungs breathing overnight, you are nowhere near the 3,500 calories required to burn off a single pound of solid body fat. The numbers simply do not allow for a massive overnight fat-burning miracle. The missing pounds literally have to be water. Okay, Section 5, the right way to weigh. Let's put this into practice. If you are just starting to track your fitness, grasping this concept will save you so much frustration. Your daily weight swings are largely a biological illusion. Your weight can jump several pounds in either direction entirely based on salt, hydration, or how full that glycogen sponge is. The reality? It's all in your weekly averages. Comparing your average weight from one week to the next is what actually tracks real, honest fat loss. Now, to get accurate data for those weekly averages, you must turn yourself into a scientific control by removing the variables. Always weigh yourself in the morning immediately after using the bathroom. Do it before eating or drinking anything that adds instant physical weight to your stomach. And try to wear similar clothing, or nothing at all. Consistency over time is literally the only way to silence the noise of those daily water swings. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought. If that daily number on the scale is mostly just a reflection of your hydration, your heavy blankets, and your glycogen sponge, what will you measure your real progress by tomorrow? Will it be how your clothes fit, your weekly average, your energy levels in the gym? Once you strip away the mystery of the missing overnight pounds, you take back the power. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep questioning the data.